Welcome to the Community Collective podcast. I'm Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, and I've partnered with the Davison Area Chamber of Commerce to bring you the stories that shape our local communities. In our third season, our focus is about connecting, learning, and celebrating the voices that make our communities. You join us during this third season as we engage in thoughtful conversations and insightful moments. This podcast is commercial-free and supported by both myself, my co-host, and our guests. We would be so appreciative if you could like, share, and subscribe as we continue having conversations that matter, and cannot thank you enough for taking the time to listen. Welcome back to another episode of the Community Collective podcast. I cannot believe it. We have almost made it halfway through season 3. What a ride it has been. And I am joined today not only by our extra very special guest, but by my partner in crime, the Mr. Travis Howell. Travis, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited about our guest today. And I know, Johnny, you and I have been really brainstorming a lot to make sure that we have great questions and great, just start talking about so many great things that people can enjoy in our community. So this is
Absolutely.
just another episode that people are going to be really interested to hear about, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I'm eager to hear if the precursor for the dress code for this here event that we might be discussing will preclude me from going because I don't own a pair of shoes, but we can get to that near the end of the conversation. So, Travis, why don't you take it away, my friend? Let's get started, bud.
Yeah. So we're really excited to introduce our guest today. It's someone that you probably have heard the name around town and have bumped into and really involved in a lot of things. So, Vanessa Flewelling, welcome. We're glad you could join us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to share what we do.
Yeah. And I know, Vanessa, it's been really nice. I know I've gotten a chance to really talk to you more recently, and I have really enjoyed just talking to you and seeing your passion for our community, and especially when it comes to the Davison Richfield Fire Department and your role with the auxiliary. So, kind of fill us in a little bit for people who maybe don't know what that is. What is the auxiliary for the fire department?
The auxiliary is made up of significant others of our fire department, our firefighters, and we do many different projects that would be to help not only our fire department, but also our community.
And I think I love it too, because not only are you guys invested in what your significant other is doing, but you all are going a step beyond, and you all are playing a huge role in supporting them and being there for a community, and especially times of need. And that's what we're really hoping to cover. And you guys have a really big event coming up. So, Vanessa, can you tell us about the significance of the Fireman's Ball for the Davison Richfield community and what attendees can expect from the gala event?
Yes, absolutely. The significance of the Fireman's Bell is to raise funds for the many projects that the auxiliary works on throughout the year, which maybe many of you don't know since our group is actually fairly new. So, some of those things might include our fire relief kits, which we will talk a little bit about later. We'll share some more about that. Our something else that's fairly new to us that we've just recently added is our Davison Firefighter Emergency Fund. And that's really here to help those firefighters that serve all of you in the community. They go out and risk their lives every day. Maybe if they have some personal emergencies that happen in their own home, maybe they've had a sickness or a loss of work, we try to put some funds together that maybe we can actually help them in that time of need if they don't have that available. We also do scholarships for young women going into public service field. We assist the fire department and fire scenes, and we also do community outreach. So we are trying to help in all aspects of the community. We also like to host a picnic for our fighters' families. This is to bring those guys together. They work a very stressful day. They go out and really risk their lives to the community, and we'd like to have a stress free moment to share with their friends, or I shouldn't say their friends, but their family, and, maybe get some bonding experiences also. So those would be the different funds, where those different funds would go when attending the Fireman's Ball, where that goes to. And now we get to the actual gala itself. I'm sure both of you have been in St. John's Hall, and you know what it looks like, and you will be greatly surprised walking into the Fireman's Ball because it is a total different space. It truly is amazing how great it looks. We have the whole 9 yards. They make the space something that you're not expecting it. And then we have Summers Floral and Design, who does all of our table decor and the rest of our decor. And that always looks great. There's also, and this year is Under the Sea. So if you've been looking at any of the advertisements, you're wondering what all those little fishies are on the screen. And that is why, because it is Under the Sea. So that is our theme. The food is delicious. It's made by Bella Burgess out of Flushing. And if you have not had their food, you want to try it. I'm a foodie, and the last dinner we had, I still think about it. It was so incredible. We have a great drink selection, and our dessert table is to die for. Those are made by Sweet Afterthoughts out of Davison. And if you haven't tried them, there you go. Here's another reason to come out to the ball. We have a high demand DJ, Peter McFray, in the house. He does a great job for us. So if you like to do a little dancing, here's the time.
I mean, it's amazing. Everything you guys are putting together. First of all, I think, Johnny, you could attend Under the Sea. I think flip-flops work into that.
That might be something that we can exceptions with some flip-flops with your outfit. That's definitely
It does seem fitting. It took me back to my childhood watching Back to the Future, because that was the Under the Sea dance. So I was going to ask if I could dress like Biff Tannen.
Oh, hey, whatever is your fanciest, I will take it. We will take it.
I love it.
And I love, first of all, that you guys, everything that you're putting together for this are local businesses that you're really supporting. I mean, Somers Floral, the Sweet Afterthoughts, the food. And I think that's one thing too that you guys are really emphasizing is not only is this event open to the public, but you are supporting the public and the vendors you're bringing in for the food, for the music, for the flowers and the decorations. And I think that is something that is really important to what you guys do, is not only you're there to create a great atmosphere for you all, your significant others, and then the community. But I love it. It's a focus on so many things. You mentioned the fire relief kits, the emergency fund, scholarships. I think that's why it's so important that people need to know about the Fireman's Ball. It's not just a time to get together for you guys and just for your group, but it's for everybody to come together and support something that's great in our community.
Yes, absolutely. That is really part of the thought of the Fireman's Ball, is that we wanted to not only bring an event that we can raise funds for all of these projects, but we wanted to make it something that would bring the community back together. We've heard of a lot of other police or fire departments hosting these galas, and we said, why don't we do something like this too? In Davison, we have a great community and great vendors or sponsors. We are, have some local ones, and we are very excited about them getting their name on this event. We have some fun things for this event also, as I talked about the food and dancing, but we have some fun games that will get you guys out there. And, we have this fun version of the 50-50. It's called Bunkers and Helmets. So
I love it.
yeah, we weren't sure about this event or this game last time we did this event, and everybody loved it. Would you like a little explanation of how that works?
Yeah, fill us in, and that way our imaginations can kind of guess until people are able to attend, and then they can really experience it.
Yes, absolutely. So how this goes is you can purchase up to 3 necklaces, and you get those, and then we call either helmets or bunkers. So if you choose to put your hands on your head, that's where they stay, or on your pants is your bunkers. And we spin our little electronic spinner. And if it comes up as helmets and your hands are on your head, you keep your necklace. If it is not, it's the opposite of what you have your hands on, you lose a necklace until all of your necklaces are gone. And so hopefully we get down to two people and they had to choose which one they wanted to choose. And, it was a fun game that nobody was really thinking we were going to have so much fun at. So
Yes.
after I talked to some other people saying, man, I'm going to get my own necklaces. We just said, here, you're the person at our table. You're going to do it. But they've said they're going to pick their own this time.
Good. I love it. It's something different, something unique, but really, it sounds like a blast and probably pretty entertaining to watch some of these people do a little dance between their head and their pants, right? Going back and forth. So,
Yes, absolutely. It is definitely lots of fun to watch that.
yeah. So, Vanessa, kind of help fill us in. How do the funds that you will raise at the Fireman's Ball directly support firefighters? And could you share a memorable instance where these contributions really made a difference?
Yes, if it's going to direct the firefighters themselves, it's really going to be when we assist them at the fire scenes. As many of those guys can come from work or from something they're at home doing, and it may be right in the middle of the day, which would be lunchtime. And these guys go to these fires. And I don't know if this is the right explanation, but I always say it's like these guys do a marathon in a very short amount of time, say 10 or 15 minutes. They're in those fires and they have all their bunker gear and they have this big hose that's thousands of pounds of pressure. And they go in with those packs on their back and they fight these fires. And when they come out, they are just exhausted. And so for us, if we can provide Gatorade, snacks, pizza, coffee. Some of those things are greatly needed. Some of these fires last a long time and they need some of those things to really have endurance to make it to the end. So I recall a fire scene I went to, and that was I showed up with the Gatorade and snacks, and I went out to the scene and I had a firefighter come out and he drank one Gatorade, drank another, and said, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That just kicked my butt." Yet they got the fire out very quickly. So those things are really worth it to me to help maybe these guys in some way that I didn't expect to, because I may be the wife of the fire chief, but I really want to do more than just sit back and listen to what happens from day to day. I really want to be there to help these guys do their job better.
And I think what a lot of people might think is like these are just regular groceries, they're just small little things. But when you are, like you mentioned, when these individuals are in there for 90 minutes,
Mhm.
couple hours fighting something to protect a local business or someone's home, that little bit of relief and just a few minutes to relax, like you said, to drink that Gatorade, eat a little snack, might be what they need just to see a smile. And I mean, they're getting right back to work and
Yes,
keeping us safe.
absolutely. Yes,
So,
they usually are right back to work. So they may have a second to stop for a moment, but then they go right back to work. So it does make it helps me to know that what I'm doing, because I may be leaving my house, which I have young kids, and I have to go on call, or when they're going to their fires, I'm going to try to help do what I can. And I think that I will do whatever I can to help not only my husband do his job better, but also all these firefighters that go out there and risk their lives for the people of their community.
you guys are already vested into it. I mean, they're working, whether you're actually at the site or at home, you're already with them no matter what. I mean, you're worried, you're concerned, you're thinking about their safety, you're thinking about probably the families that they're trying to help out. So you guys are just as stressed as them, I'm sure, just because it's your significant other and you want them to come home safe at the end of the night and be healthy and happy.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what I really enjoyed talking with you about the other day was learning more about the auxiliaries, like relief kit, care boxes. It seems like they're a very thoughtful way to help those affected by fires. So, how did this initiative start? And what are some of the items usually in these care boxes?
It started first, I guess I should say, we brought back the auxiliary. So I've been with Brian for, or I should say, Chief Flewelling for, geez, I better get this right. I don't even know. Here I'm on the spot. Remember how many years, right?
Don't tell him. Don't worry.
I think we've been together for 25 years now. So we've been together a long time. And I have seen him through all stages of the fire department. And at one time they had an auxiliary, and then we didn't have one for a very long time. So when he was given the opportunity to be chief, I decided, okay, we really want to get this auxiliary going for many different reasons. So we started that back up. And once we got it started, I said, how can we make it not just a group that were here on the sidelines? So we were kind of brainstorming, and I said, how can we help these people right after a fire? And so we had talked to a few different people who had fires in their house and asked what would be the best, what could we give to you that would help comfort you? Because we already had some ideas of what we wanted to put in these kits. And they said, a blanket, a pillow, something that's my own. Even if I go to a hospital or a hotel or somebody's house, that I have something that I'm going to have that's mine because they didn't get to take anything out of their homes with them when they had the loss of a fire. So we decided, let's put something together. So in these kits, there is blankets, pillows. In fact, those blankets, we have a church of older ladies that put together these quilts. So they donate those to us, which is wonderful. They do some pillowcases as well. And that is in there with toiletries. So that way they don't have to think about those things as well. Shampoo, conditioners, toothbrushes, sometimes stuffed animals. If we have kids that in those houses that we want to comfort, we give them make sure we purchase a stuffed animal for them. And then we also put in some gift cards. Each person gets a $50 gift card to maybe go and buy themselves an outfit, or maybe they need new underwear and socks, things that they really don't want to think about at the time. And we have thought, the Red Cross does help them, but sometimes people, especially in this day and age, don't have the means to just go out and purchase whatever they want and give receipts to their insurance company or get things from the Red Cross. So we decided we were going to try to do something that maybe is small, but it's really turned into something great. I did have a situation. We had a fire recently that had a family that was not able to go back into their house. So they had a loss, and we put together a kit, and we did get those stuffed animals, which the family did lose some animals. And a few days later, the chief did talk to them, and they really said, thank you so much. Please share with the auxiliary how appreciative we are of that. That helped so much. And our children have not put these stuffed animals down. So when I heard that, that made me think just that little stuffed animal did so much. And we think it's something insignificant, but to them, it really meant more than we can even say.
And that's so very accurate. I mean, having to deal with, a fire at your home, whether it's a complete loss or whether it's just something, that's marginal, regardless, it's got to be terrifying in all forms and facets. So that you guys can be there and be available for these families that are dealing with this is amazing, is truly amazing. So, I mean, with everything we've discussed up to this point, for those in the community that wish to support or even get involved with the fire department efforts, what are some of the ways they can do so? Should they reach out to you, stop by the fire department? What makes the most sense for them to be able to reach out and get in touch with you guys?
We have a few different ways you can reach out to us. We do have a website, and it's drfdauxiliary.org.
Perfect. We will absolutely put that in the show notes as well.
Awesome. That'll give you information about all that we do. We also have our Facebook page, so you can go to that as well. And you can always personal message us from there.
Okay.
That's another way you can get a hold of us. And really, to support us to this, I guess sponsors are great. Sponsors for this event is always welcome. We are closing up on that. We also have the option of donations. People have just said they couldn't make it to the ball, so they wanted to donate because they heard what we were doing. We have had people just donate and send it up to the fire hall with the auxiliary on the envelope. So, if you want to get something to us, there's always a way to do it. And we appreciate everybody who donates, sponsors, or gives at times. For the fire department,
Sure.
we give people who donate or food or pizza or things like that. And we appreciate every bit of that.
Absolutely. With the Fireman's Ball open to the public, what would you say to the community for those that are considering purchasing a ticket or this is their first time hearing about it? How does their participation contribute to what you guys do there at the auxiliary?
Of course, it gives us a lot of support, which really, and it's not even just about us, it gives our firefighters support as well. You showing up for this event really shows that. And of course, we know the fire department is in the middle of our community. If you have a
Mhm.
great police force, fire department, it seems that they really can help the community come together. So we just ask you to, contact us, get your tickets, especially if this is posting at the beginning of April. We really don't have a lot of time left, and we really need to get those numbers into our caterer for this event. So we just hope to bring the community together, and we hope that our community shows up to make this event successful. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed if you come to this event. It's a wonderful event, and we just want everybody to get that experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one of the other things that we want to make sure we highlight, I think we talked about it at the beginning, but we'll have this in the show notes. But for those that are listening, why don't you give me the date, the time, and the location for the Fireman's Ball again?
Yes, okay. So the date is April 13th, and doors open at 5 p.m. and dinner is at 6. And that would be at St. John's Hall in Davison.
The Parish Hall, correct?
Correct. Yes, the parish hall.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, one of the things that I always do is I would always want to know, how do I get tickets? Do I have the ability to show up to the fire department? Do I need to buy them online? What's the best way that, the community can reach out and get tickets from you guys?
You can call Helena. She is my event chair. I do have
Okay.
a phone number I can add to this. And if you'd like to post that up there, that's great as well. Because I would say if you're, hearing this the beginning of April, we need to get those numbers right away.
Okay.
Her number is 810-653-7.
Okay.
You also can get to us via Facebook private message. We will get right back to you with that as well. And we also have our email. You can do that as well. And that is, I've got to think about that, guys. I'm going to have to get you.
That's perfectly fine. You send me the email address. We'll add that to the show notes as well. No problem at all.
So many options of how to get a hold of us. We typically take care of all this. If you start calling up to the fire hall, they'll say, "What are you doing?" For emergency calls only.
I get it. I get it. So I have to ask, when I talk to all of my police officer friends, I always have to reference one of my all-time favorite movies, Super Troopers. And so the same guys that put on Super Troopers had a show for a couple of 3, 4 seasons over on True TV called Tacoma FD.
Yep.
Have you guys watched that? Is there any reality to some of those shenanigans and things you deal with the community?
Oh, goodness. I think we have a serious group. I don't think we get to do any of those shenanigans.
Okay. In all reality, that's probably a good thing. But I always like to ask that question. I try to ensure that our officers in the community always get a large farva whenever I see them out at a restaurant. So I'll have to
Uh,
figure out what I need to do for Brian and the crew over there as well.
oh, that's great. I love to hear that.
That's perfect. Vanessa, we are so appreciative of you taking the time. And I think I'm going to look at my schedule. Travis and I will discuss it, but I think we have a good opportunity where maybe we can even slot you in a week earlier to try to get more, I don't know, screaming from the rooftops to
Yeah.
let people know about the event, and
Mm.
try to get those numbers bumped up and also help you guys get the event sold out that much quicker.
Oh, that would be great because that is definitely our concern because a lot of people don't necessarily know about this event. They
Sure.
think it's just open to your firefighters, and it's really a
Mm.
fundraiser for the firefighter and the firefighters and the auxiliary. So we definitely need any help we can get to get this to the community.
No, it makes perfect sense. Travis, do you have anything in closing, my friend?
Oh, the big thing I want to say is, Vanessa, thank you so much. For anyone listening, make sure to get your tickets as soon as you hear this. I know it's just talking to all the firefighters and auxiliary members. I can only imagine how much fun it's going to be. just hearing all of the stuff they have going on here. So this is another great way just to get involved in our community and show support for, individuals that are out there supporting us every day. So
Yeah,
Vanessa, thank you so much. Yeah.
and keeping us safe, keeping our community safe, and I was literally sitting at Senior Lucky's when Limitless RC caught on fire. And so
Wow.
that was a wild event that transpired without a doubt. And so I
And
do
I have
greatly
to
appreciate you guys.
yes, I have to give a shout out to all those guys because that could have been so much worse. And
Yes. Yep.
whatever they did made a huge difference, which could have been a huge loss to our community. So to only contain it to those few buildings,
Well,
that was great of them. So I know that there was a lot of fire departments there that helped us, and we were very grateful for all that.
like I say,
Yeah.
talk about teamwork, and not only Davison Richfield Fire Department, but I think there was 4 or 5 other departments that came in. And I think that really shows how important what the auxiliary does and what the fire departments do is they're a big community supporting each other. So I think the Fireman's Ball is a great way to show how much we support them. So Vanessa, before we get ready to kind of sign off, remind everyone how to get tickets, the date, and the location again, please.
Okay, so how to get tickets? You can contact us through our webpage. That'll connect you to us. And I believe our email is on there as well. And that'll give you information about the event. And that is drfdauxiliary.org. We also, through Facebook, you can go to the Davison Richfield Fire Department Auxiliary, and you can private message us there. And you can also reach out to Helena. I mean, you can even personal message me if you need to. I will be happy to help you get those. The date is April 13th at 5 p.m. Doors open. Dinner at 6.
And
And
what
that is at St. John's Parish Hall.
I pulled from that is don't show up to the fire department and ask to buy tickets. So that's the key.
Yes.
That is true. We will get them to you in every other way. You don't have to show up to the fire department. Although everybody is always welcome. My husband will say, his doors are always open for people who are interested to see what it's like down there. So you give them a call or want to bring your kids down, you're always welcome.
Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure just to talk to you, but also to learn so much about the Fireman's Ball and how much fun it's going to be.
I appreciate being on, and I'm so thankful you guys have opened this time up to me. And I hope to see both of you there. And if, Johnny, you show up in flip-flops, but you have a suit on, hey, I'm not going to go against you. I'm going to say, all right, you're in.
That's like a challenge I can definitely take advantage of.
Yes, I'm sure now any of those ladies out there, just know this is an event that you can get dressed up. It's almost as if you're going to an adult prom. So that being said, I know a lot of you either didn't get to go or you want to relive that again. This is the time to do it.
Good. Well, Vanessa, thank you so much, and enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Vanessa.
You too.